So for this job, I have to recreate the two little 3/8 special grips with giraffe bone. So I've cut myself a piece of giraffe bone off on the bandsaw. And now what I decided to do is to make it out of those little sides. So I have to cut this thing again into center and then start making two blanks for this. Let me get that cut quickly, then I'll show you further. So I quickly sanded them down. After I cut it in half, it was one piece like that. Then I just on the disc sander sanded this to a flat. And please guys, something to remember, working with all these organic stuff like stag horns and any type of deer horn bone, please wear masks. Take it for tip from a fool, this stuff gives you a headache like you've never seen in your life before. Been there, done that. So what I've done is I've flattened one side. You can still see some remnants of the hollow part there, but this is as thin as I can go because I need to get to that thickness. So what I've done is I've put my original grips down, made sure that I get the same thickness everywhere in this, and then I just hold it down, make a mark with my pencil on both of them. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut outside the lines as far as possible and then start shaping. The last thing I want to do is make this too narrow or too shallow. So I've marked them both of them now, and I just need to make sure that I'll get everything in. I measured it with a vernier just to make sure, for example, when I get to that height, when I get there, I'll have enough meat to get the same shape out of it. I might have a little bit of a problem in that corner and in this corner, but that will adapt when we get there. Since this is not wood, it's something Mother Nature gave us, we have to take what we get and make the best of it. So let me cut this shape out quickly and see if we can make some nice beautiful white grips. So now I've got the basic shape cut out, and as you can see, they're much thicker than what they're gonna be when we're done. It's all the offcuts. I've just cut it on the scroll saw. I was actually quite amazed to see that the scroll saw will cut giraffe bone. It's very hard, and as you can see, what I've done is I've cut it everywhere a little bit bigger than what the original was or is, as you can see there. So now I've got lots of meat. Now the filing and the shaping starts. So guys, another quick project we have to do is I have to build a little shelf. It's not a little shelf, it's actually a big heavy shelf. The stock we're using is 33 millimeters thick, in other words 33 each one of them. I have to quickly glue up some stock to make up the width of the shelves. These boards are only 160 millimeters wide, so by gluing two together I get the 320. So at the moment what I got in the clamps here is the side shelf, this side and that side, and then we'll do the shelves themselves. I just want to get these in the glue and in the clamps so I can give them a few hours so I can do the shelves as well. Then we'll start building on it. As you can see, I went quite ham on the biscuits. Of course, this is going to be very heavy. So let me glue this up quickly and show you what we are supposed to do. So guys, to measure the distance that my backer panel has to be inside there, with the tape measure it's quite difficult. So I use the two-stick method, or that's what I call it. Just take 2 sticks that will actually fit into the recess both sides. Put it nicely into there, that side and that side, nice and tight. Put a little clamp on, and just for insurance, I'll make a mark. So if I take this now out and I measure this, that will be exactly the distance I need. I will still shorten it by another 3 millimeters just to make sure it's got space, because our recess here is 6 millimeters. So there's no way it can move out, just in case there's some inconsistency somewhere. So that's my way of measuring for the backer panels. So guys, just to get you up to date with the shelf that I've built, I didn't have much time to record much on this because it was a rush job. The customer needs it quite urgently. It's 1240 wide, 966 millimeters high, and the thickness of the stock is 33 millimeters. The backboard in the back, the green one or the blue one there, is 17 mil thick. What I've done, I've got a rebate right around and the border outside, 17 mil to accommodate the backboard. Then you'll see in the center of every shelf bottom, that one, and also in the bottom one, I've got a 17 by 8 millimeter rebate, in which LED lights is going to be. To accommodate that, I have then drilled holes in the back, in the center of the shelf, right through into that little rebate, so that they can do the wiring in the back. And while we're here in the back, that's also the French cleats that's going to hang this cupboard off the wall. So there's a center hole from the back there, drilled into the shelf up until that little rebate there. So the wiring will be hidden there, and then also in the bottom shelf that will shine down on the counter itself. This is very, very, very heavy. The way I joined this, the customer didn't want half laps or dados, so I borrowed once again Rob, my friend's domino, and as you've seen, I've dominoed all 4 corners as well as the shelf this side and that side. 5 dominoes on each corner, and then 4 there, 4 there. So in total 28 dominoes, keeping this nice and together. So this is now done, sanded up to 180 grit, ready for the customer to do his Rubio finish. On the back, on that green bluish backboard, there's a plastic film that they can then just pull off once they've done the Rubio. That's another job done, guys. Now for the next one. So guys, I quickly made for another customer of mine. You've seen me make these already how many times. I quickly made 20 of those for her. And then also I made a little frame 1190 by 1190 for the canvas guy. That is done. The big box, the white oak box, that's out. The customer is happy. He's got his box or shelves. That is out. As you can see, the workshop looks one hell of a mess. But I just quickly want to, before I finish the night off, I want to quickly cast the resin in the board that my friend Ari has done for me on the CNC. This is for a wedding. And the idea is I just want to fill all the words and the border and everything with white resin. I'm using AMT's resin again, the wood cast. And it's, I can't remember what's the ratio, 100 to 60, a 1 to 6 mix, 100 to 60 mix, sorry. And I'm quickly going to mix that white resin, fill this so that it can lie through the night, and then tomorrow we can finish it off. I thought of first just mix some clear resin, then just seal it because I'm scared of the bleeding. But the cuts on this is so well done and so clean that I don't think we're going to get bleeding so much that it would bother us. So I'm quickly going to cast this. I'll show you now what it's going to look like once I'm done. I just use a little kitchen scale to measure my resin in. And the pigment I use I bought from Strand Hardware down in PE. It's just a plain white. And I'm quickly gonna just dust off everywhere here, pour the resin, so that tomorrow we can finish this off. So guys, the casting came out nicely. This is now the next morning, but it's dry, but it's still tacky, as you can see. So I'm gonna leave this for another 2 or 3 days maybe, and then we will sand it and get this done. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna continue quickly with the little revolver grips. Let me show you what that looks like. So guys, with the little revolver grips, I have now shaped them to a final shape, and then now it's just sanding and finishing. And then the way I finish them off is I sand them up to a 500 grit sandpaper. I then coat them with CA glue, cyanoacrylate, and then polish them. So I'm now sanded up to a 500 here. I'm now going to do the CA finish on it quickly and then polish them. And hopefully by this afternoon I'll show you a picture what they look like. So guys, that's them now polished. So we're just going to wait for the customer now to come so that we can do a final fit, and then that job is done. What I've used, I first used my rough buff with just some metal polish, which of course made them very black. Then I washed them with water and soap and took a clean buff with some blue rouge or soap or whatever you call the stuff, and then I did the final polish on that. And that's how we got the super glue finish. I hope you can see that now on them. So guys, another little project I'm working on, I'm making a clock for a retiring teacher at a school. And I had this CNC'd by my friend Ari again. And I just need to make an 8mm hole right through for the hour works to fit in. So I just use my drill block to make sure I drill nice and square. Put that down and drill my hole. And that's now the 8mm hole, which hopefully will accept the arrowworks. In the back, we're still gonna router out the block where the arrowworks go in. I don't think I'll be able to sink it all the way because the arrowworks I got, the shaft is a little bit too long. So I must make a plan to make this stand away from the wall, just a little bit. But let's see how far we can get to that. So guys, this was a busy week. I got a lot of jobs done. Two of the big jobs that I really needed to get out of the shop was the big oak shelf that you've seen, and then also the revolver grips. They out. And then I started with the smaller jobs. Did some trophy stands again for my customer, 20 of them. We made a frame for the canvas printing guys. We had the CNC. I glued this up and I glued this up and I had it CNC'd. And then for another friend, I made some wedding stuff. He couldn't find an A, so I made him an A. I don't know how they're going to use that, but they're going to use it. So lots of jobs done. There's light in the tunnel. I still got a table to restore, an office desk, and 2 barn doors to build, and then another 3 tabletops, 3-meter tabletops to build for another guy. But that will come. At least worst of the small stuff is being done now. Next week, I'm going to try just to do the small stuff. There's 2 more boards like these that needs to be done. This needs to be finished. And yes, I want to get rid of all the small thingies and then I'll start with something big again. On the other side, we started on the house itself, we started digging foundations. We are planning to build on a dressing room and a bathroom. So the foundations are now dug, and that you'll see as we go on. I'll show you that. And I'm just waiting for the final plans to be approved. I've been waiting since February. So hopefully that will get done soon, according to the architect, within a week or 2. So that's something else to look forward to. So guys, it was a happy week. It was a nice week, productive week. Let's hope next week is as productive as this one. Sorry you didn't see so much of the big oak shelf. It was a job that I had to finish in a rush. The customer was in a hurry for it. It's the last finishing touches on cupboards he's built. And but that's out, and I'll show you as much as I can. So guys, have a nice weekend. Have a nice week. Make some dust. Most of all, stay safe, stay healthy. See you next week.